in terms of regulation, but also in terms of encouragement, in particular to encourage Islamic financial instruments. To help us understand the area tonight, we have two very eminent individuals in this field of Islamic finance. First of all, we have a very eminent scholar, Sheikh Nizam Yaqubi, who's from Bahrain. Sheikh Nizam sits on a range of different Islamic banking Sharia boards, and he's going to help us to understand the relationship between religion and its influence on commercial developments. We also have Usman Ahmed, who is the CEO of the Citigroup Global Islamic Banking, and he's going to start off by giving us a presentation on Islamic finance and to help us understand its role in modern global finance. Now, Mr. Usman Ahmed is going to take about half an hour with his presentation. Then Sheikh Nizam will comment, and then we'll throw it open for discussion and questions. But first of all, Mr. Usman Ahmed. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Professor Cranston. It's indeed a great pleasure for me to be here today. I would also like to take the opportunity to congratulate Professor Ross on his recent appointment to the Court of Higher Appeals for the United Kingdom as a judge, along with Professor Blair, who was with us today for the whole of the day at a seminar that was jointly organized by LSE and the Harvard Law School. I would also like to thank both institutions for giving me this opportunity. Today's session is broadly divided in two parts. We'll start with the presentation and do the Q&A as just explained. Both Sheikh Nizam and myself have attended the Euromoney Islamic Finance Seminar for the last 2 days, and we spent most of today on the seminar that was organized by the LSE. So we will hopefully be able to give you the latest perspective, and we look forward to an interactive session. Let me start by giving you an overview of the main principles of Islamic finance, as well as an overview of the market. Under Islamic principles, money is regarded as a measure of value and is not an asset in itself. What that means is essentially that profiting from the trade of money or lending is regarded as riba, which is not permissible. What is also not permissible is investment in certain prohibited industries like gambling, alcohol, tobacco, or entering into contracts that are purely of a speculative nature. Under the principles of Islamic finance, what is allowed is to profit from asset purchase, sale, or leasing transactions, from trading of goods, or investment in Sharia-compliant enterprises, for example, real estate or other assets. What this essentially means is that investors are required to take the risk related to ownership of assets to generate a profit for themselves. For example, if a company wants to finance its purchase of inventory, it has two options. It can either go to a conventional bank and take a loan, or it can come to an Islamic bank, and if the Islamic bank finds the due diligence it's done to be acceptable, it will buy the inventory from the supplier, take momentary ownership of title of the goods, and hence qualify for the profits related to the sale of that inventory to the customer on a deferred payment basis. The deferred payment leg will essentially create the credit for the customer, and for the investor, the momentary ownership of title will give it the right to earn a profit on the transaction. What this essentially shows is that ownership of title is critical to demonstrate under Islamic finance that investors are investing in the real economy. It also shows that there is nothing stopping an investor in the Islamic market from participating in the same economic activity as conventional banks. And just because the Islamic bank is meeting the same customer need as a conventional bank doesn't mean that that activity is akin to conventional finance, or that indeed the Islamic bank is not entitled to take security or third-party guarantees or use